Hi everyone, it is new feature day, Nintex Workflow Cloud workflow tracking. I saw this one pop up on the What's New tab in my tenants. I thought I'd do a real quick overview of it, how you can configure it and how you can find it. So before we jump into the config, let's have a quick look at the help file. Workflow tracking, it's a slightly new role, somewhat new role for a business owner. You have to be a participant in Nintex Workflow Cloud, so at the bare minimum, and then you can get assigned this business owner role to a specific workflow or workflows. If you try and access the workflow tracking page without that, you're just going to get a blank screen. I'll show you a sort of an error pop up, show you what that looks like. But the workflow tracking page is a great place to view all the workflows that you're a business owner for. So this is quite a unique way of looking at ownership of workflow outcomes rather than the build of it and the participation of it. It's sort of assigning that ownership to center of excellence or even heads of business units. And you can then drill into instances, and then you get this nice graphical view of how those workflows are behaving. That sort of failed, completed, terminated, and so on. Alrighty, so that's the blurb out the way. Let's have a quick look at the My Nintex page where this lives. Now, what I've started doing is started adding the My Nintex URL to any redirect pages. So on submit, rather than that sort of default tick that you get, I'm actually redirecting people here. I think it's a great place to come back and view the statuses of your submissions, any tasks that you have, and now you'll also be able to access workflow tracking. I don't have any workflows to track yet, which is why I'm going to take you through the steps to do that. But you have to be assigned as a business owner. Otherwise, you'll see this satellite um, page. So how do we get there? So I'm in a workflow here, and I'm going to edit this workflow just so I can show you one way of adding a business unit. And what I'm going to do, um, I'm going to add the redirect. So in my business loan application form, I'm going to redirect to my Nintex on submit, apply changes, and let's publish this form. You'll see now I have a new business owners area. So business owners can access workflow tracking in my Nintex and view all instances of the workflow. So I'm going to add myself as a business owner. Obviously, I would be able to view this sort of information in the instances tab. So publish, and I'm going to close the designer. So now if I go back to my Nintex and refresh, I should have one workflow. So I should have a new workflow that I can track. Hasn't been started, no recent activity, but if I click on the business loan application, there's that sort of graphical view that I was talking about. How many are running, how many are completed, any failed, any terminated, and you're going to be able to click in to those specifics. So once I start to gather some data, that's going to light up for me, which is pretty cool. I'll be able to see the status, when it was started, and who actually started it. There is another way of adding people. If you're an administrator, it's a little bit easier if you're doing a couple of these, particularly if you're using workflow tagging. So if you're using the tag capability, um, I don't have any tags here actually, but if you're using tagging, you'll be able to just go through this on volume. So you can go to permissions, and permissions now has that business owners lookup too. So you'll be able to add people there. So that's workflow tracking now released for all Nintex Workflow Cloud tenants. Go and have some fun with it. It's a really good way of bringing the business into workflow reporting, compliance, governance, so on and so forth. Thanks for watching. Look forward to speaking to you soon.